Hi, and welcome to this latest immigration law update video. In this video, I wanted to quickly share with you a news story which came out yesterday on the 4th of May 2021, announcing the signing of a UK-India migration and mobility partnership. And one of the key features of this that was announced yesterday was a new young professionals scheme to allow Indian and British professionals to work and live in each other's country for up to 2 years. So here's the news story. I've shared the link in the link to this video. And here are the headlines in the box. A unique agreement includes special young persons scheme to allow Indian and British professionals to work and live in each other's country for 2 years, the first such scheme for a visa national country. And obviously this builds on the new graduate route, which opens on the 1st of July 2021. But this is in addition to, it's a new route for young professionals from India to come to the United Kingdom. There is also much talk in the agreement also of combating overstaying and immigration crime. So we'll touch upon that as well. So the agreement was signed on the 4th of May. There's an announcement here by Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, and the British High Commissioner. So here's the scheme. Have a look at this. This agreement will allow thousands of 18 to 30-year-olds to work and live in each other's country for up to 2 years. This professional and cultural exchange program will work in a similar way to the current youth mobility schemes, with India being the first visa national country to benefit from this. There is a cap, so up to 3,000 young Indian professionals will to come to the UK through this route each year. So 3,000 a year. And again, here's this bit about improving the process around return of Indian nationals with no legal right to stay in the UK and vice versa, and to ensure greater cooperation around organised immigration crime. Now, the full text is in the Migration and Mobility Partnership, and it's the Memorandum of Understanding. So here is the full text of the agreement. I've also put that as a link below this video. So again, we sort of have the recitals at the start. Then chapter 1 looks at the scope of the Memorandum of Understanding. And one of those in 1.1.2 is the facilitation of mobility of students, academics and researchers and migration for professional and economic reasons, abiding by equal treatment of nationals of both participants' countries in similar situations subject to national immigration laws. And again, at 1.13, there's this fight against illegal migration and immigration crime. And then what we seem to have, as you go through the different provisions, is sort of encouraging Indians to apply in the UK under current provisions and vice versa for UK nationals to apply under Indian provisions, but with no new provisions, save for this one new young professional scheme. So the first thing is encouraging the use of visit visas and the issuing of visit visas. Secondly, students. Initial professional experience. So this is referring to the graduate scheme, which, as I said, opens at the beginning of July and provides for a further 2 years after graduation, or 3 years if you've done a PhD. Have a look at my video on the new graduate route. It'll be at the end of this video. Then there's a student internship provision. Then immigration for professional and economic reasons. And here, paragraph 5 of chapter 3 is the new scheme. So exchanges of young professionals and joint action in favour of such exchanges. So it's a maximum period of up to 2 years. And they're going to create a new scheme, the Young Professionals Scheme. young professionals between 18 and 30, and they'll be authorised to take up employment under the provisions set forth in this section without consideration being given to the employment situation in the host participants' country. So that's interesting. Where regulated professions are concerned, the young professionals are subject to the criteria defined by the host country. Looking at the provisions which we'll come to, I don't think you have to have a job offer in advance, as I can see, because what you do have to do is hold a diploma or a degree which validates as far as possible at least 3 years higher education corresponding to the qualification required for the employment on offer. See, that's when it talks about on offer, or have professional experience or comparable level in the sphere of activity concerned, and able to express themselves in the language of the host country. Period of 24 months. May not continue to reside in the host country after the authorised work period expires. So it's a one-off scheme. But where relevant, you may be authorised to continue their stay in the host country, provided they obtain an employment contract as per the participants' immigration laws and regulations. So there may be some switching provisions. Equal treatment there in Roman 6. Roman 7 is the cap, 3,000 per year under the scheme. So it's 3,000 each way. It's not 3,000 in total, it's 3,000 each way. And the provisions are set out in Annex I, so we'll have a look at that now. Again, paragraph 6 deals with skilled mobility and reference to current UK schemes like intra-company transfer scheme, etc. Encouraging mobility of skills and talents. So again, a reference to current provisions, researchers and academics. Chapter 4 deals with prevention and combating illegal migration. Chapter 5 is about information sharing and cooperation to combat illegal migration and people smuggling. And then the final provisions in chapter 6, including setting up of a joint working group. So here's Annex I, and this is the provisions in relation to the exchange of young professionals. I presume in due course we'll see immigration rules laid before Parliament and a statement of changes to incorporate these. As I can see at the moment, there's no date when this will come into force. So participants need to submit an individual application to the relevant organisation responsible for the collection and submissions of applications for the UK or India. Obviously, you've got to comply with all the relevant laws. You've got to be a national of India or the UK, not previously taken part in the scheme. So as I said, it's a one-off scheme. Sufficient financial resources to meet their needs during the authorised period of stay. No dependents, to pay the fee and to hold a valid degree or diploma. Authorised period of stay must not exceed 24 months. Need to be between the ages of 18 and 30 at the date of application, but you can submit an application up to 3 months before you turn 18. And then entry and stay is obviously regulated by considerations of public interest, public order, public security and public health. And then it gives provisions as to the issuing of the visa. Then there's some general provision about abiding by national laws. Then in terms of implementation in the UK is down to the Home Office. So we wait for that to be implemented now. It's up to the participating country to determine what they will set as their financial resources required. So obviously it's up to the UK to determine what finances Indian nationals will have to have in order to come under this scheme. Again, the cap is 3,000. And then there is a provision for a temporary suspension of the scheme with 28 days notice, or even a termination of the scheme with 3 months prior notice. But if the scheme is terminated or suspended, those already here will not be affected, and their young professional scheme visa will remain valid. And then Annex II deals with the return procedure, because as I said, another feature of this agreement is strengthening returns and combating illegal migration, forgive me. So this is the new agreement signed yesterday with this important scheme for young professionals from India to be able to come to the UK aged between 18 and 30 for up to 2 years. Obviously, watch this space for more details, but an important new scheme to be aware of. I hope this video is helpful. And I've also included the text for Annex I with all the requirements in the description to this video. Thanks a lot.